but it's so rewarding to get your little home all stocked up, have enough water, and then go out to like the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of the desert in Arizona, or out in the middle of the forest in Oregon, or out by a stream like I am right now in the middle of Colorado. Full, like, you have everything that you need, and you just get to relax for the next like 2 or 3 weeks. Good afternoon, travelers. My name is Philip Murillo, and I live full-time in my 1992 Toyota Winnebago. Welcome to the Four Earth Stories. This is episode 1, and we're talking about the truth of RV and van life and traveling on the road. Now, for the last year or so, I've been living full-time in this RV for over a year. This is kind of my experience with it, kind of the rough parts of it and kind of the beautiful parts of it. I'm just trying to figure it out. And so if some of these notes that I have on the truth of RV life or van life or living in your vehicle help someone else and help someone else be better at it or become better or be more interested in this lifestyle, then that is the goal here, and that is something that I hope you go out and try someday. It is not that bad of a lifestyle. It is way more rewarding than difficult, and you're gonna meet some awesome people. You're gonna love it, and it's something that I really think you should give a try. So let's get right into the video, and hopefully you learn something. So the first thing I want to talk about is lately traveling around the world, many places now are becoming fenced off, boarded up, or you need to pay a lot of money to get in. If these places are broadcast to the rest of the world, if lots of people want to go there, then they're also very crowded. And with the crowds becomes the possibility for someone making a lot of money at it, whether this be the state, the government, or just some person that owns the land. With that, in 2019 going into 2020, places are becoming more difficult to travel to. It's becoming more difficult to stay in places for a period of time. It's becoming expensive, difficult, and just you can't do it anymore. I was gonna say unknown, but you just can't really do it anymore. The places that I've traveled to that really allow you to is Arizona, Oregon. It's really the places that don't have national parks, don't have a lot of cities. There's lots of open land, and those are the places that you're gonna wanna look for if you wanna camp out off-grid, if you wanna stay somewhere for 2 or 3 weeks and just like chill out and live and be. And the big reason why a lot of us RVers and van lifers do this kind of life is to go to some of these beautiful places. There's so much in between the national parks that you should explore, that you should experience and live within, because that is what this is all about. It's about finding yourself. It's about being a part of the world and experiencing parts of the world that you can't see online. A lot of the places that I traveled to in Arizona and Oregon, it was just out there in the trees, in the bush, by a river somewhere, and it was just absolutely beautiful. So it is becoming very difficult to travel and stay places for cheap in 2019, but you can still do it. If you are a young adult looking to do this kind of thing, you get two kinds of people talking to you. The first kind of people is the majority, probably about 75-80% of these people are super fascinated in what you're doing. Wow, 21, 22, 25, even 30 years old. You are living in a van, you are living in an RV. That is amazing. Where have you been? What have you been up to? Why are you doing it? Here's my experience. Here's what I think. I mean, most of the people in the world are super fascinated if you are a young adult traveling in an RV, especially by yourself. Those are the first people. The second types of people that you're going to get as a young adult is that you are a troublemaker, that you are up to no good, that you're homeless, that you have no money, that you have no respect for people or things. And I've actually gotten this a lot in Arizona, where you meet lots of like older RV people or like people that have been doing it for a long time, is they think you're just going to mess up things. They think when you get propane or you go and get gas that you're just gonna mess up somehow and ruin their whole experience of life, when there's no correlation there whatsoever. I don't know, it's weird. You get a lot of weird looks. You get a lot of looks just in general. And it's something to think about. It's something that, obviously should just go right over your head. You shouldn't care about. You're on your own journey. It's something that you should know, and that is probably going to happen. The third thing I want to talk about is money is difficult. It is difficult to come by unless you want to settle down in an area. It is difficult to save it because things come up. There's a consistency that you need to get propane and water and gasoline and food. And I mean, there's these things that, you need to survive. But also your engine could break down. And if you haven't seen that video, my engine broke down about 3 or 4 months ago and shit hit the fan. And basically I was down a lot of money. I still am down a lot of money. Main goal here and the main purpose is to figure out a way to get your monthly bill or your monthly expenses around $300 to $500. And to do this is don't eat out as much. Use only the minimum that you need. Meaning propane, meaning gasoline. Don't drive as much as you want. Like stay in an area or within the confines of a city for a few weeks or a month or whatever that may be, and that is going to drastically lower your bill, make you be able to travel for longer and hopefully to more areas. All right, the fourth one, and this is probably the most difficult one, is no one is going to do it for you. No one is going to wipe your ass and feed you soup from a can. No one is going to be there to do the things that people are usually used to getting done for them. And some examples are getting their propane tanks filled up at their house, having water directly sent to them, having hot water and cold water at the press of a button. These are things that if you want hot water, you either boil it or you turn on. I have a hot water heater, and I'm lucky to have that, even though it uses a lot of propane. It's something that I have to physically go do. If I need to fill up my propane, I have to go to a gas station and physically fill that thing up. If I want water, if I want these basic, like laundry, I don't have a laundry, what's it called? I don't have a washer and dryer here on my thing. I have to go to a laundromat. I have to go to Walmart to get my jugs filled up with water. This starts to become a routine. You start to get it down of like, okay, I'm in a town, I'm in a city. I can do it in 3 stops. I can get my water, propane, gasoline, and laundry. And I don't know, I feel like I repeated myself, but I can get these three things done. It'll take me like 2 or 3 hours, but that doesn't mean that it just goes away. Like, you still have to do this all the time, but it's so rewarding to get your little home all stocked up, have enough water, and then go out to like the middle of nowhere, out in the middle of the desert in Arizona, or out in the middle of the forest in Oregon, or out by a stream like I am right now in the middle of Colorado. You have everything that you need, and you just get to relax for the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's difficult, but it's very rewarding at the same time. And the last thing I want to talk about, the 5th thing that I want to talk about, is it gets really lonely. Not just the fact that it gets lonely, it's sad to say goodbye to people. It's very tough to stay in an area for a little bit, meet some awesome people on the road, maybe they're backpacking or mountain climbing or mountain biking or whatever it may be, and you meet them, you get to hang out with them, you have dinner one night, you have some drinks, you hang out by the river, make a big bonfire or something. And then 2 days later, you have to say goodbye for basically ever. That gets very tough. The other thing that's very tough and that makes you feel very alone is a lot of your friends back home. A lot of, your parents, your aunt, uncle, your family, people that you meet while traveling. Maybe they're just on a 3 or 4 day vacation, and then they're back to the grindstone for the next 2 years. I mean, a lot of people are not going to understand this lifestyle. They're not going to understand what you're going through. They're not going to understand what I'm going through. No matter how much you tell the stories, they're only going to judge you on the words you use in those stories, by the pictures you take. This gets very difficult at times and very sad and depressing in your own self, because you feel like no one understands what you're going through. And what you're going through is going to be very real, very difficult, You're going to learn a lot about yourself and the world and how things work and how you work, like your strengths, and no one is going to be there to help you, to talk with you, that really understands what you're going through, unless you're traveling with a partner or a family member, or you're traveling with someone that is going through the same exact things. Unless you meet someone that is living in their RV like full time, but still each person's experience is completely different. It becomes very tough to relate to people, to understand or make people understand your true life and your true nature and your true reality and like what you're really going through. So those are some of the things that I want to talk about. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this on my experiences, my thoughts, and my research on RV and van life and just traveling in general. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, if you're inspired, make sure you subscribe. Right now I'm trying to hit 200 subscribers. I know that's not very much, but I am shooting for it. I am super excited to like put more content out, to travel around more. So make sure you hit the subscribe button because there is so much awesome content coming out. Comment if you are inspired or if you have any more questions or concerns. I would gladly and I will gladly answer every single person's comment, whether that be hate or not. So much love, guys. Safe travels out there, and I'll see you next time for another video.